Guys, we just had one of the worst jobs reports that we've seen in a very long time. And I haven't even really had a chance to get into it. I saw the headline data, and I believe it was minus 29,000 jobs. But as I'm walking here, I've made previous videos about the job market and how disastrous it has become. People are out of work, oftentimes white collar workers, and we've gone over a lot of these stats where people are out of work for 26 plus weeks. Now, you could make the argument that these people who are out of work for such a long time need to swallow their pride and get back into the workforce, even if it is for something that is not ideal or not what they used to do in terms of salary, in terms of the type of work. Maybe the work they did wasn't nearly as stressful as the type of opportunities they might have now. Because guys, one thing, to keep in mind is that we have tons of opportunities out here. When I lost my job at Amazon, I was an operations manager at Amazon, but it took me about 6 weeks, not 6 months. And I don't know what I did differently besides targeting the keywords that are in demand, like AI, and stuff like that. As Orwellian as that sounds, as AI replaces jobs, you use AI to, keywords to find a job on your resume, and you use AI to create your resume and stuff like that. But it took me substantially less time than a lot of people. But at the same time, there are major issues here when, you have people out of work for 6+ months and they can't find anywhere comparable to what they used to make. Especially for the people who are highly skilled, people who have multiple degrees, people who have certifications in their field, and yet they still can't get hired. There's a number of reasons we can look at why that is and what's happening. And yes, part of it is artificial intelligence. Part of it is the fact that companies can now do more with less because they can automate some of the routine, document task and, reviewing and things like that. Drafting emails, all that type of stuff. But AI is definitely not good enough to replace, the top echelon of white collar workers. It's definitely not, and it won't be for quite some time. And, the basic administrative task is only a part of the question here in terms of why the job market is so bad. That you can see some routine automation going away, but it goes much deeper than that. One thing that we've seen is interest rates. And interest rates are at highs that we have not seen in decades. Think about this. After 2008, they went down to zero, and Ben Bernanke started quantitative easing. Interest rates remained at zero until roughly 2018, when Jerome Powell started raising them, I think up to like 2% on the Fed funds rate, or somewhere around there. And then during COVID, what happened? They printed all the money, stimulus checks, his interest rates were back down at zero. And then Jackson Hole comes along in 2022. So 2022 was the turning point. And I've mentioned, funny enough, the fact that ChatGPT comes out shortly after. So with high interest rates, you have a much higher risk of the job market and everything tanking. And so I don't think people are factoring this in. Businesses, when they have higher borrowing costs, they don't like to invest and take a lot of risk. They don't like to roll the dice too much when you have high borrowing costs because it's just not worth it. Wait for lower borrowing costs, especially considering that many people have gotten used to this 0% interest rate economy. And as Peter Schiff has pointed to the fact that we were basically addicted to 0% interest rates for quite a long time. And even going back to like all the way from 2010 onward, when they had that quantitative easing train going and that money printer was going burr and asset prices were going up. And then after COVID, once again, 0% interest rates, super low mortgage rates. People got used to being able to buy houses and cars at historically low interest rates. Well, businesses also got used to it. And who's doing the hiring? Businesses, right? So this is a, from an employer standpoint, you also have to look at it from the perspective of, do I want to take more risk and do I want to invest more into research and development at this time with all of the systemic risks that we see in the economy, such as higher borrowing costs, higher interest rates in general, which I like I said, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I don't think people really understand how much interest rates have an impact on the job market. I don't understand it either fully, but there is definitely a strong connection, and I think it's overlooked substantially. And I don't think people realize how much this interest rate issue, as interest rates remain elevated, is actually impacting the jobs numbers. Because I can almost guarantee if we had 0% interest rates, there would be a lot better jobs numbers, and if we were at 0% interest rates and we were not receiving better jobs numbers, it would probably be because we had just, fallen into a deep recession or something along those lines, which you could argue is, we're already in a recession or stagflation. But, if that were to happen, 0% interest rates, good luck. I mean, what's going to happen then is the reacceleration of inflation. And that's the main concern, is the Fed is stuck between a rock and a hard place. And regardless of how shitty the job market numbers are, if they lower interest rates to try to stimulate things, it's not going to be pretty. All this war and everything going on with oil and the price of fuel, airline prices, food. Think about how much this impacts transportation. Why are grocery prices up? Well, because of the fact that the transportation costs have gone up, and so everything's going up. And if you throw more liquidity, more money into the system, on top of that, if you manipulate interest rates more, you're just going to create more problems. So the funny thing is, they always, like the Fed is pretty much out of cards. They don't have an ace up their sleeve. They are pretty much tapped out. And I am very concerned about what happens. These jobs numbers that we saw amid the worst consumer sentiment numbers that we've seen, 2026 is the worst on record. The K-shaped economy is alive and well, but for so many people, guys, this economy is not working. It's not working. And of course, we've always had the haves and the have-nots, but we've never seen it this bad. We've never seen the wealth gap this bad. We've never seen the difference between those who are doing exceptionally well and those doing horribly for themselves. This is arguably never been seen before in American history, even going back to the Gilded Age. In fact, I was doing some research, and I could be wrong on that, or the Edwardian era, would it be? Yeah, the Edwardian era, like the early 20th century, the Industrial Revolution. Like, sure, there was a lot of struggle in those time periods, and sure, we have modern technology, which definitely helps out with everything in terms of, just really making things easier for us. Having modern air conditioning, right? Even if you work at a warehouse or something, it's something they didn't have 50 years ago. But, one thing I've mentioned is we've come a long way in the last 50 years. We've come a tremendously long way, in the last 50 years from, using an example as a phone, right? From Blackberries to iPhones, but even before then, going back to the landline, and then going back to car phones. Going back to the 1980s Atari systems, right? The new video game systems that came out when the first personal computer came out. And the MacBook, Macintosh in 1984, even before then. But the changes that we've made technologically and as a society would suggest that our productivity and efficiency is so much higher than it has ever been. So why are we falling behind in terms of job stagnation, career growth? And you can point to a lot of factors, don't get me wrong. And I've mentioned this. You can point to the bad job market, people who can't find work, and you can say, well, the reason you can't find work is because you haven't kept up with your skills and you haven't done this, and your resume, you have a gap in your resume and it's your fault and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But you can also look at the systematic factors that are causing all of this. One of the things, and one of the major things, is the Federal Reserve and the fact that they manipulate the interest rates, they manipulate the currency supply. And, going back to that, guys, I just cannot get over it, because I can almost guarantee we would not see such a bad job market if it wasn't for the elevated interest rates and all the bullshit going on. Of course, COVID had a huge impact on everything. We're still suffering from the hangover of that. But Peter Schiff once said, guys, when they take away the punch bowl, things are going to get a lot harder for Americans. And that's exactly what we've seen. So people can make fun of that guy all they want. They can make fun of the fact that he's a gold bug and he's been touting gold and silver for decades, essentially, and, touting the US dollar collapse. But it is kind of happening in a slow motion train wreck fashion. I mean, obviously, the US dollar is still the world reserve currency, but a lot of the things that Peter Schiff said regarding interest rates and the fact that we would not be able to sustain the extremely large debt loads, I mean, it made sense back then, and I agreed with it, but we're actually seeing it happen in real life now. We're seeing it happen in real life in America right now as we speak, as not only do you have people out of work, not only do you have people who can't find work, but the fact of the matter is, people are out of work for longer, and people have extremely high debt loads while they're out of work. They're racking up credit cards with super high interest rates, and the mortgages, the payments, if you didn't get locked in 2021, they're a lot more. So everything's gone up, not just the cost of borrowing, but the cost of food, the cost of everything. So people are pissed off, and for good reason. But unfortunately, this is a byproduct, partially, of the fact that our economy has become so dependent on cheap money and 0% interest rates. And it is highly concerning, because how long can an economy really rely on the top 20% of earners, as we've seen already? Basically, the top 20% of earners account for most consumer spending these days, which, that just to me, and obviously the data is skewed because they have more money to spend, but still, it's like that stat right there should concern you. 20% of people accounting for most consumer spending, that doesn't seem right. That seems kind of off. The average person can't find work that is equivalent in terms of their pay or their previous, skills and what they did. That should concern you, especially people who have gone to school, went into debt. Now they're having to pay huge interest payments on these student loans, but they can't find work. They're $100,000 in debt, but it's not the good debt. It's not a mortgage that you're going to own one day. It's student loans, which, what's your investment? What's your return? Very negative if you can't find work. So this is all going to blow up eventually. Meanwhile, the K-shaped economy and the stock market just keep ripping to the stratosphere with the top 7 or 8 companies. And like I said, guys, I sound like a broken record, but this is happening as we speak, this dystopian nightmare. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Now, that being said, there's a ton of opportunity. We've never lived in an era where you can go out and start a business so easily. You can go out and make money online, do some remote freelance contracting. That's what I do. And I work with AI and I make money doing it. I follow the money. That's what I would recommend doing. If you're in this situation where you can't find work, follow the money and find out where everybody's going. Because right now, and I'll leave you with this. I know we're tired of hearing about AI, but AI wage premiums are very high, and people are making a lot of money just working with AI, even as a contractor or something along those lines. And that's why you're seeing these major wage premiums. And so if you can break into the space, if you can get into the artificial intelligence space, even if you don't have experience, a lot of times you don't need experience. A lot of these companies will just hire contractors because the demand is so high for AI right now. And of course, that's not going to last forever as things reset eventually, but it's worth a shot. I mean, why not? Follow the money, right? And that's exactly what I would recommend doing, because that's where all the demand is. Thinking about it from an economic standpoint, all the demand is going in that direction. So if the demand is in that direction, then that would also probably assume higher demand for workers and higher wages, right? Because the companies are willing to pay top dollar for AI talent that doesn't exist right now. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. We definitely live in a very screwed up economy. I've never seen anything like this in my 30-year tenure on this earth, right? I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this is out of control. And I'm curious for you guys older than me, 50, 60, 70, whatever, 40, I want to hear what you guys think. Have you seen anything like this in your lifetime where the economy has been this bad for so many people? I mean, and not only that, but extraordinarily good for other people. Like, have you seen such a dichotomy where there's such a large gap between the rich and the poor and the haves and the have-nots? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But this definitely is interesting. It'll get more interesting, and I'll sit by with my popcorn and watch, because you know, it's getting bad, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot of stuff out here, even though there is a lot of opportunity, something's going to blow up eventually. There's going to be a domino that falls, and something's going to happen to where this entire house of cards comes tumbling down, in my personal opinion. Kind of like 2008, but maybe worse. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.